Wait. Before you scroll past this, I need you to stop for just a moment. Because something has been happening around you energetically, and it has been building for days now. Maybe weeks. There is someone in your life who has gone quiet. Someone who has chosen silence over honesty, distance over vulnerability. And they truly believe, that their silence is hiding everything. But the cards in front of me right now are telling a very different story. Their feelings? They are not hidden. Not even close. And by the end of this reading, you are going to understand exactly what is happening on the other side of that silence. Let's go in. Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome to this space, to this reading, to this moment that I truly believe found you for a reason. If you were guided here today, it was not by accident. Spirit has a way of placing exactly the right message in front of exactly the right person at exactly the right time, and I believe with everything in me that this reading is meant for you. This is a collective reading, which means I am speaking to a group of people across many different situations and many different connections. So as always, I invite you to take what resonates deeply and gently release what does not apply to your specific journey. Not every word will speak to every person, but I promise you, something here was placed specifically for your heart to receive today. We are going to be working through 6 cards that came forward in this reading, and the energy that has been surrounding them is extraordinary. There is so much emotion underneath the surface of what you are currently experiencing. There is so much that has not been said. And today, we are pulling it all into the light. Take a breath with me. Settle into this. And let's see what the cards and the energy have to say. The very first card that came forward in this reading is one that stopped me completely when it revealed itself. The card is called the Dream. And the message here, I want you to really feel this, is that you appear in their dreams. Not occasionally. Not sometimes. Nightly. Think about that for a moment. Every single night, when this person closes their eyes and the world grows quiet and their ego finally stops running the show, their subconscious goes directly to you. You are the first place their mind travels when the defenses come down. You are the one their soul reaches for in the dark. There is something so profoundly revealing about dreams. We cannot control them the way we control our words, our actions, our carefully constructed silences. Dreams are honest in a way that waking life rarely is. And this person's dreams are telling the truth that their mouth has refused to speak. I am getting a very strong sense for a lot of you that this connection has an almost magnetic quality to it. Like no matter how much physical or emotional distance has been created between the two of you, there is something that simply cannot be severed. Some thread that remains, stretched thin perhaps, but unbroken. And this card is confirming that. Their sleeping mind knows what their waking heart is too afraid to admit. For some of you, I am being shown that this person has even woken up from a dream about you and then reached for their phone. They may not have sent a message. They may have put the phone back down after staring at your name, your conversation, your pictures. But the impulse was there. The reach was real. I want you to know that you have not been forgotten. Not even for a single night. This is the energy that is opening this reading, and it is telling me that everything we uncover from here is going to be rooted in the same truth. This person feels far more than they have allowed themselves to show. Take what resonates from this card. If this is speaking to you, I want you to let it land. Let it be real. Because it is. Now we move into the second card, and this one carries some of the most important energy of the entire reading. This card is called the Source. And the message that came through when it was drawn was immediate and clear. Their ego created all of the distance. Not you. Never you. I need to pause here because I know that some of you have been carrying a weight that was never meant to be yours. Some of you have been sitting with this silence between yourself and this person and quietly asking yourself what you did wrong. What you could have done differently. Whether you said something, missed something, were somehow not enough. And I need to look you directly in the eyes through this reading and say, that is not your burden to carry. The Source card is speaking to the origin of the separation. And what the cards are showing me is that this distance was created from a place of ego protection. This person built a wall not because they wanted to be away from you, but because they were afraid of what letting you in fully would mean. Vulnerability is terrifying to certain souls. And for some of the people on the other side of your connection, getting close, really, truly close, felt like standing at the edge of something they could fall from. So they created distance. They manufactured reasons to pull back. They chose silence because silence felt safer than the alternative, which was saying something real and risking being truly seen. But here is the spiritual truth that this card is bringing forward today: the ego can protect, but it cannot fulfill. And whatever walls were built around this person's heart have not given them the peace they were looking for. Distance was supposed to bring clarity. Instead, it has brought longing. For many of you, I am sensing that this person has had a moment, maybe more than one, where they sat alone and realized that the distance they created was the source of their own pain. They built the gap. And now they live in it. And some part of them, some deep and honest part, knows exactly who they want to close that gap with. This card is a message of vindication for you, love. Whatever story you have been telling yourself about being the problem, the cards are asking you to set it down. You were not the source of the separation. The ego that feared love was. We are now halfway through this reading, and the energy of the third card is absolutely unmistakable. This card is called the energy shifts. And what I am feeling in this moment is a kind of ripple, a movement, something that is coursing through the space between you and this person right now. Can you feel it? I think many of you can. I think that is actually part of why you are here today. Because something has shifted. Something in the past several days or weeks has changed in the energetic connection between you and this person, and your soul registered it even before your mind could name it. That is why you found this reading. That is why you stopped. The energy shifts card is telling me that what has been stagnant is beginning to move. The stillness that existed in this connection, that frustrating, aching stillness where nothing seemed to be happening and nothing seemed to be changing, that is ending. I feel this as a kind of turning of the tide. Something has happened internally for this person. Something clicked. Something cracked open. For some of you, there may be external shifts beginning to show up as well. Unexpected encounters. Mutual connections mentioning you. A sudden like on a social media post that feels loaded with meaning. These are not random. These are the physical world beginning to reflect what has already shifted on the energetic plane. I want to share something that came through very strongly as a channeled message during this card. It came in quietly but with a great deal of emotion behind it. I keep thinking about you. I don't know why I can't stop. I tell myself it's nothing, that I should just move on, that the silence was the right choice. But then I'm driving or I'm lying in bed or I'm in the middle of something completely ordinary and it's you. It's always you. I don't know what to do with that. That is the energy that is moving right now. That is the shift. They are wrestling with what they feel and running out of reasons to stay quiet about it. This card is an invitation for you to begin matching this energy shift. Not chasing, not forcing, but opening. Allowing. Releasing resistance to the possibility that something is genuinely changing here. Because the energy between you two is not dead. It is not dormant. It is moving, and it is moving towards something. Oh, this card. This card is one I want to spend real time with because it is carrying something that I think a lot of you have been quietly waiting for. The apology forms. Words have been building in their heart. They are almost ready now. Let me tell you what I am seeing energetically around this card. There is a heaviness. Not a dark heaviness, but the heaviness of something that has been held for a long time, carried, turned over, reworked, revisited. This person has been composing something inside of themselves. Words that they have started and started again in their mind. An acknowledgement that has been forming slowly, the way something enormous forms, not all at once, but piece by piece, until it cannot be held back anymore. For some of you, this apology is about the silence itself. About choosing withdrawal when what you deserved was presence. For others, it is about something more specific, words said in a moment of fear or frustration that caused harm. And for others still, it is simply the apology of someone who has realized, too late and then gradually and then completely, that they have been the architect of their own loneliness by pushing away the very person they cannot get out of their mind. Here is what the cards want you to understand about this card: the apology not yet spoken is not a sign that it will never come. It is a sign that it is being prepared with care. There are people in this world who speak without thinking, and then there are people who feel so deeply and so fully that they must hold their words for a long time before they trust themselves to release them accurately. This person falls into the second category. I am picking up on a tremendous amount of self-reflection happening on their end. A real honest reckoning. They have been looking at their own behavior and their own patterns and asking themselves difficult questions. Why did I pull away? What was I really afraid of? What did I almost lose because I let my fear make decisions my heart didn't agree with? And I am being shown that the answers to those questions are leading them somewhere. They are leading them toward you. Now here is where the energy of this reading takes a turn that I find absolutely beautiful, because this card is about you. This fifth card, moving forward, is about the shift that has happened or is happening within yourself. The message is this: you are ready to move forward regardless. And that readiness is changing everything. I want to sit with this for a moment because it is so significant. There comes a point in any period of waiting, in any season of uncertainty around a connection, where something transforms inside of us. We stop waiting for the other person to take the first step. We stop making our own healing contingent on their choices. We begin to find our footing again, not because the situation is resolved, but because we decide that we are worth more than endless suspension. That is the energy I am reading around so many of you right now. You have done the work. You have sat in the difficult feelings, you have processed, you have cried, you have prayed, you have asked the universe for signs and answers and relief. And somewhere in all of that, quietly and without fanfare, a strength returned to you. A knowing. A sense of your own wholeness that does not depend on this connection being reconciled. And here is the profound spiritual insight that comes with this card: your readiness to move forward regardless is the very thing creating the energetic conditions for this person to finally move toward you. This is not irony. This is law. The energy of someone who has fully reclaimed their own power is irresistible in a way that need and desperation never can be. When you stopped waiting and started living, something in the universe rearranged. This person can feel it. They may not be able to articulate it, but they can feel that something is different. That the window they thought would always be there is perhaps not as permanent as they assumed. And that feeling is adding urgency to everything the previous cards described: the apology forming, the energy shifting, the sleepless nights, the dreams. Moving forward regardless does not mean abandoning love. It means choosing yourself alongside love rather than instead of it. And the cards are applauding you for arriving at this place. The final card in this reading is the one that has been waiting underneath all the others, holding the vision of what this energy is building toward. The sixth card is called Hand in Hand. A new chapter written together. Fear no longer separating you. I am feeling a warmth around this card that is genuinely moving. There is a tenderness here. A softness. Something that feels like exhaling after holding your breath for far too long. This card represents the potential outcome of everything that has been in motion, the dreams, the reckoning, the apology, the energetic shift, the reclaimed power. When all of these things complete their arc, what the cards are showing me is a coming together. Not the same dynamic as before, because both of you have changed. Not a return to what was, but a beginning of what could be, something more honest, more grounded, more real. I want to share what came through for me as a final channeled message for this card, because it felt very personal and very tender. I don't want to pretend anymore that this was something easy to let go of. I don't want to keep acting like the quiet doesn't cost me something every single day. I want to say what I should have said. I want to start over, not from the beginning, but from here, from everything we've learned. I'm not afraid of that anymore. I'm more afraid of never trying. That is the frequency of this card. That is what is moving through the space between you and this person. The fear that once stood like a wall is crumbling. And what is on the other side of that wall is not loss, it is reunion. Hand in hand. Two people who found their way back to honesty. To each other. To something built not on performance or fear, but on truth. Now, I always want to be transparent with you, this is a collective reading, and not every single outcome described here will be identical for everyone who finds this video. Some of you are on the brink of hearing from this person very soon. Some of you may have a bit more of the journey ahead before this fully manifests. Spirit works in divine timing, not human timing, and I know that is sometimes frustrating to hear. But what I can tell you with certainty is that the energy in this reading is not wishful or vague, it is charged. It is real. There is something alive and moving in this connection, and the direction it is moving is toward healing. Before we close, I want to offer a few final spiritual reflections that came through during this reading. The first is this: there is a reason that silence was the weapon of choice in this situation. For people who feel deeply but protect themselves fiercely, silence is the safest form of retreat. It neither confirms nor denies. It neither commits nor releases. It is the limbo of the emotionally armored. But silence always has a cost, and this person has been paying it in sleepless nights and recurring dreams and a restlessness they cannot name but can absolutely feel. The second insight is about you and the way this experience has transformed you. Whatever pain came from this period of uncertainty has also been the raw material for something genuinely powerful happening within you. The version of you that is on the other side of this waiting is more grounded, more self-aware, and less willing to abandon yourself for the sake of someone else's comfort. That is not a wound. That is an upgrade. And the third insight is one that Spirit is pressing on me quite insistently as we close this reading. Be open. Not naive, not without discernment, but open. If contact comes, if an apology arrives, if a message appears, if a conversation begins, meet it with the same openness you would want extended to your own most honest moments. You do not have to have everything figured out before you begin. Neither do they. The beginning of real things is often messy and imperfect and terrifying and worth it. You are not alone in this. You were never alone in this. We are at the end of this reading, beautiful souls, and I just want to take a moment to acknowledge you for being here. For trusting your intuition enough to follow it to this video. For having the courage to sit with feelings that are not always comfortable. That takes more strength than most people recognize. What I want to leave you with is this: you are someone worth dreaming about. You are someone whose absence creates ripples. You are someone whose love is not a small or ordinary thing, and anyone who has had the privilege of that love and then chosen silence over it has not done so because you were not enough. They have done so because loving you fully requires a level of courage they are still working toward. And the cards today suggest that the working is nearly complete. Whatever unfolds from here, I want you to carry this with you: you are whole. You are worthy. And whether this specific connection opens back up or whether the universe has something even more aligned waiting just around the corner, you are not someone who will be overlooked forever. The right love does not stay silent. The right love finds its voice. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust yourself. Until next time, take care of your heart. It is doing sacred work.